So I decided I'm going to make a video on this because I can't find any online. So basically the lights that go up here stopped working. And the light bulbs are fine. I tested the light bulbs and they work fine. And there's this relay interlock where you can only turn these on when the high beams are on. So you hit this button here, these off-road lamp button, but it only works if these high beams are on, and I hate that. I think that that shouldn't be. So I'm gonna wire them up so that way I can turn them on whenever I want. However, to do that, I'm gonna get rid of all that extra wiring. Let me show you the part that I took out. So I tested the lights with the battery. Lights turn on fine. It's something to do with the relay thing. But so this is the grommet that sits in between the ceiling or the roof of the car and the inside and outside. But you can't replace it because it's got this glue in here. You can see I tried to cut it. So basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut all this crap out, all this extra stuff. I'm just going to have the wires, the positive and negative from each one. So those 4 wires are going to come together. And I have these connectors here that make it go from 4 down to 2. So I'll have my 2 positives going in here, my 2 negatives going in here, out this way. And you can get these on Amazon. I got most of this stuff on Amazon. And it's going to make things a lot easier. I mean, you could use wire nuts. I have wire nuts, but I don't really want to use those. Another thing, when you take these bolts off, when you take this off the car, it's just going to be a couple bolts here. However, I made a mistake and I used a power tool and I kind of sheared this crap off. So there's a hand tool available in it's a T30, I think. What size? It's in the car, but I believe it's a T30. There's a tool underneath the back seats that'll fit perfectly in here that Nissan provides. I just started using my impact and it did that. So maybe start a little easier. Here we go. Let's see what size it is. Yeah, it's a T30. I think that's a Torx bit. But if you're not careful, you could shear them and have to figure something else out like I do. So the first thing, after you get that all out, you're going to want to take your headliner down. There's 2 10mm bolts here. And then, what's this one? This is a 7. That's going to be up here for your visor. And you just pop this down. And then I pulled my weather stripping. So you just pull this down. And you can see here, if I just pull it, there's going to be a clip, which I already took off, that I tucked up that white clip right there. That's going to clip into your harness, and you just take that clip off, and I'm just going to tuck it out of the way and never touch it again because it's useless and it shouldn't be there. But my problem now, that I'm running into, is I don't know how I'm going to weather seal that hole. So I have a couple ideas. So yeah, there's the flex tape. This is for something else. I found this too. I might use in the future for other things, but it's like an electrical spray tape. I don't know how reliable that is, but then I also got the flex paste. So and I got all these grommets, so different sizes to try some different things out. I even bought, just because it was there, I even bought these metal ones that I usually use for like electrical boxes or conduit, but I don't know, I just thinking. So here's what we got. We got these little guys. So here's the hole. That's a little big. This one might be better, but how am I gonna... I don't even want to spend the time to get this on there, to be honest with you. Okay. I guess I could... Let's see if I do this side first. Okay, I'm gonna try, just to try it. I'm gonna take my Dremel and see if I can make this a little bit bigger. Is that stupid? I don't know. You tell me. Is this what they call retarded? It might be. But sometimes retarded is good enough for me. I got these at Lowe's, by the way. I was at Menards, didn't find any. I found everything else at Menards, though. Oh my goodness. Look at that. And they called it retarded. And by they, I mean my self-conscious. Okay. That's a little bit. Dude! You know, it probably would have been a lot smarter if I put the wires through before this. Gosh darn it. Okay, well anyway, so I think all I'm going to do now is just flex seal it right here. And then once I put the wire here, I'll flex seal this. But before I do all that, I need to see if I can even get this wire stuff working. Oh, and here's the switch panel. I had an aux beam. Aux beam works great, but I'm saving it for something else because it's more expensive. So I got this off of Amazon. You just look up, it's aux power. So there's the 6-banger. There's also the 4-banger that we put on my buddy's 4Runner. That's the box for that. So this is what I'm going to be running the lights off of. Honestly, like, the quality is damn near, like, if you're trying to save money and if you don't want to buy the aux beam, this is like not bad.
One eternity later.
Where's my negative? Because this is my negative. That sucks. Not long enough. They give you the short ass cable. I know I said these are fine and great. I would just spend the extra money to get an aux beam because this is ridiculous. I'm surprised that they didn't. This aux power company didn't think of that. What retard came up with that design? That is a stupid design. I can't think of a dumber way. This is stupid. So I'm gonna cut. I gotta cut all this apart first. So let me just start with that.
A few moments later. 2,000 years later.
Okay, no turning back now. So, keep as much length as I can. Oh, you know what I want to do first? I've been saving this. I originally bought it for my truck, but I totaled it. So the Xterra gets it. Just wire protection. I was using some cheap. Whoops. I was using some cheap like this stuff. This plastic protector, which is fine. I just think this will last a bit longer. Now I don't. Once it comes to the actual hole, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I might have to drill it bigger. So basically, all that I'm doing here is the original lights. You have your 2 lights, and then you have 2 sets of wires. That is just your on and off for the lights, and those are the only wires that you're keeping. There's another set of wires that are going to like a little relay box up there that is right next to the light. I just get rid of that, cut all those extra wires out. You should have 2 black wires and 2 white wires, a black and a white going to each light. So all I'm doing here is I'm just cutting all that extra stuff out that I don't really want, and I'm leaving the black and white, which is just your positive and negative, going from your lights all the way down to your switch panel. So that's all you're going to have. Here, let me show you the light working, actually. This is where I get my tester. And then where my... Gosh darn it. Hold that. See? Light works. So, I really want to take this out of there because I don't need it anymore, but how am I going to do that? Yes! Boom! Garbage. Okay, now we can put this side back together. Okay, maybe this other side will be easier. Well, let me finish this. Make sure it wraps all the way around. I feel like this is going to keep it from rattling around too, so I like this. Make sure, I've just been eyeballing it, but you really want to make sure you measure out how much wire you need in between different things, so you don't have to have all these different connections and crimps. Otherwise, you'll have to do like what I'm doing and adding all these different connections. So I would just measure, double check, make sure you have enough wire and the right gauge wire for going from point A to point B. You can just take a string or something, or just your stock wire or your loose wire, and just tape it to one end and tape it to the other end and see how much you need, and that might be better for you in the future. Okay, light goes back in. Ain't bad. This isn't long enough. I'll have to make this a little bit longer. So when you do this, or if you even want to, just leave a little extra slack because mine's kind of tight, so I'm gonna have to work something. Okay, so I'll show you how I got it out. Where'd it go? I just did this. Hold on. There's another little screw here. This is that's a T15, and the other ones were a T25. These are a T25. Let's see. Thank God. World's most useless thing done to a car. Okay. So I want to make this longer. And all you're doing here is you're bringing your, like I was talking about before, you're bringing your two sets of wires together, and you can find these connectors on Amazon. You just look up 4 to 2. That's what I did. So 2 power, 2 negative, that go down to 1 power and 1 negative, or 1 positive and 1 negative. And I'm going to do the same thing for the battery. I'm going to have my six negatives going down to 1 negative. And just look up 4 to 2 wire connector on Amazon. They're pretty easy to find. This is pretty much like the one that I found. Here's your this is the 4 to 2. So you have your 2 positive and your 2 negative that shrink down to 1 positive, 1 negative, and that's all you need going through the roof. Okay. So all I did is just add a little extender that was heat shrinked, and this is heat shrinked as well. So hopefully no water will get in there. Alright. I'm using this different colored wire just because I don't have red wire that's the small size that I want. So this, I think, is going to be A-okay. Boom, baby. And then I would like to double check. I believe. Well, I actually didn't check that light earlier. So I just want to be sure. I forgot, when you're doing these connectors, you want to offset them so that way when you put your whatever your protector is around it, you'll have a much smoother finish. And I forgot to do that, but ain't a big deal. Ain't nothing but a thing. Okay. Time to reassemble. Again, plastic. Don't want to go too tight. This is a lot cleaner too. I don't know why they have this high beam interlock thing. Maybe it's a legal issue. I don't know, but stupid. It's stupid. I'm just doing this for now. It's temporary, just so I can. Honestly, though, when I took the stock one off, I'll show it to you. This is pretty much how it was. This is like what they did at the factory. So, first thing I gotta do. This isn't quite big enough. I'm gonna see if I can drill this out just a tad, just a smidge. Oh, here we go. Perfect. Dang it. These don't stay up very well. The tighter the better though, right? That's what she said. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to run it from the bottom. You guys tell me, did it get through? Oh yeah, it did. I'm gonna put quite a bit extra. Okay, now we gotta seal this up. It's getting dark fast. Huh, it's hard to do right here. Just gonna take my finger. It looks like what they do at the factory. Oh yeah, I get some right here too. All the way around the actual wire. Okay, that's not bad. Okay, maybe I should use a glove because now my finger is black. I'm just gonna leave it. It's fine. That, you know what, honestly, easier than I thought it was gonna be. Okay. I think I can move that thing over here now. Let's see. Yeah, there's like way less wires and stuff up here now. So much better. Okay. So my next step. The next step is going to be to wire this to this, which shouldn't be an issue, I don't believe. Yeah, I think I left just enough, dude. I need a freaking ladder, dude. Okay. This is more than enough. I'm going to leave it like that in case I need to change something in the future. Hey, come on. It's hard to... in there, baby. That's what she said. Oh. How's that? Yeah. Hey. Not bad. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wrap it with this first, and then I'm gonna wrap it with that weatherproof tape that I got. That should come out nicely, I think. Okay, let me grab the other tape. Okay. Let's see if this is gonna work. If I ever have to get back in here, it's gonna be a pain, but that's okay. Now I need to cut it. This is sticky, dude. Holy crap. Oh my god. This is the stickiest. Okay, did that cut? Oh, it did. Okay. Okay, that was too much, but whatever. Gosh dang, dude. That's some quality stuff. Okay. Now, the part I've been dreading. Actually, you know what? I'm going to zip tie this. Okay, well now the part that I'm going to have to struggle with is figuring out how to get all of these rivet thingies back in. So let me get all my parts. I've made a terrible mistake. I forgot to put this back on there. I think it's gonna be fine without it. I'm gonna keep it on hand. Oh man, that sucks. Don't forget this. I'm gonna keep it on my shelf because if I do have any issues, I'm gonna have to take all that apart and put this back on there. I think it was just to keep... I think that just secured this on there, so I think I'm going to be fine. Dang, that sucks. Okay. That one's in. Okay, the next step... I gotta figure out how I'm going to run this switch panel. What I think I'm gonna do, because with this switch panel, I'm only gonna have this one wire coming through the firewall. But with this wire coming from the roof lights, I need to bring them back because they're coming in the cab, back down here, and then through the firewall again. So I think I'm going to take them through that grommet. There's another one over there, but there's not a lot of hand room, so I'm going to use that grommet for that wire and this grommet for these wires. Yeah. Let's see how much I can do before it gets too dark. Where's my phone? So you bring it through. Oh, that's me. Oh man. You bring it through, and if you shine the light under your dash, oh, it's hard to see from here, but you can kind of see the light shining, and you can feed it kind of through, and then you reach your hand up under there and you grab it, start pulling it through. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna start pulling all this back through to where I can start feeding it through the firewall. But first I gotta get it all secured up here. Wherever the OEM wire is going, and it seems to be working. Okay. So now I'm going to put the weather seal back. Just make sure when you put the weather seal back, you put it in the right groove. But it should keep its shape pretty well. Back. Oh. Now I'm going to get the impact gun and put all this back. What? Ah! So it just started to snow. I'm going to try to finish some of this up, hopefully before it snows too much. Let's see what we can do. Okay, where am I going to put this? Okay, so this one's a little different. It's not as slim. It's this big box. So I don't know where I'm going to put it. Okay. Okay. I'll have to zip tie that or something. Boy, I tell you what, I'll have to zip tie that son again. This is where I'm going to have to figure out which button I'm going to want this to connect to in order to turn it on. So, okay, so these fuses right here, which are, let's see if I can put the camera there. There's more fuses here, so the cover only tells me what these fuses are, and the fuses I need are these ones. So I'm just looking down in here, it tells you what these are. They're just hard to see, so you just gotta like get a flashlight or work your head in there. So I'm looking for either the fog light or something as flip on and offable. Okay, I figured it out. F10. A pain in the ass to get to, but that's the fog lights. Now the cool thing about this is the fog lights are pretty easy. If you wanted to, this is what I did on my truck, you can wire your fog lights to here, so that way the fuse just activates this. So when you turn your fog lights on, you're turning this on. I'm not going to do that, at least not right now, it's cold, but now we know what fuse we're using, baby. That's what we're talking about, dude. Stuff working out for me, very rare. Now I'm going to get this sucker back in. Oh, it's on, baby. Okay. Now, for the funnest part. And this still has enough slack, I can pull it out. Okay. Cool, we are good. That's fine. What I have to do now is figure out how I'm going to snake this control cord through the firewall. So this firewall, it's going to be on the driver's side, and it's just going to be a little plastic grommet that you need to pop out. And I stick a screwdriver through there, I find it on the other side, and I stick my wires through and pull it through. It takes a while. Sometimes those grommets are a little stiff, you got to work them. But once you pull that wire through, you run it along your engine bay, wherever you want, over to your battery side. So just make sure when you're doing it, you don't take it all the way off, or it's going to be a pain to get that grommet back on. So I just pull a little corner down and slip the wire through. And I don't think that the actual control cable is long enough to reach how I want it to. So I'm not sure. It has to come through this firewall though. There is no other option. It does reach, but it's so short that you cannot really customize where you want to put it in the car. So depending on what switch panel you get, just pay attention. You may need to, like the one I have here, you have to wire each negative from your terminal block that's on the one you just bought, the switch panel, because it has your positive and your negative, and the positive goes in the panel, but the negative has to be wired right to the battery. So just be aware of whether you have to wire it to the fuse or wire it to the battery, or wherever you have to do it, because it looks like different companies do it differently. If you have to do it like the way I'm doing it here is the slightly more difficult way. To make it easier, I'm going to get one of those wire connectors like the 4-to-2 that we saw, except for I'm doing a 6-to-1. So every negative off of that terminal block that you buy, or off of the relay box that you buy, every single negative terminal is going to be wired to that connector, which is going to bring 6 wires down to 1 wire, and that 1 wire is going to go to the battery. And it's going to make a nice overall cleaner look, so you don't have like 6 wires running off your battery into a terminal block. And if you have it the other way around, like on the more expensive ones like Auxbeam or the Switch Pro, the negative and the positive are going to wire directly to the unit, so it'll solve itself. It'll be self-explanatory. If your battery is not on the same side as the side you're passing it through, I would just spend the extra money to get an Auxbeam, because this is ridiculous. So I really am limited in my customization in terms of where I want to put it, because of the fact that the wire that they provide is so short. And now I'm just going to zip tie it so it's out of the way of the engine. Now I'm going to pull the excess through. And you know what? I'm going to put this wire through here too. You know why? Because screw it, that's why. I don't want to deal with finding another way. I really don't like putting 2 wires through the same hole in the firewall, but at this point, man, what do you want me to do? I really hope that's through. Let's see. It is. Yes. Okay, I kind of got that grommet in, the one that I was struggling with over there. If you just get angry enough and push it in, it goes in. But you gotta, because you got those wires in the way, you gotta shove that grommet with all your strength, so that way the indent goes around the metal. And that's how you do it. Now, take this baby out. I'm gonna put these on the 20, I think. They're halogens. I'll do the 10. No, I'll do the 20, because I don't want to redo this shit. Okay, I'm a little curious right now, because there's only a spot for the positive. Where's my negative go? There we go. Fog lights off. This turns off. Honestly, I wonder if I should have angled it towards me. It looks like it's not angled towards me, but you know, I think it's fine. Nice. That's not bad. Not bad at all. It's kind of bright. I'm not. Oh, it's a light sensitive. Oh. Hey, that's something the aux beam didn't have. Just saying. That's cool. That's pretty sick. I'm not 100% happy with how it turned out, especially with this negative wire situation. But it's good enough for now. I think I can mess with it in the future. So yeah, I'm gonna, not too much tension on these wires. I'm gonna wrap everything up.